everybody, today I got to show you how to create this violin in Blender. So let's get started. So first start by adding a reference of a violin, then place them into their places. And so to model your violin, add a cube and then go to edit mode, then press M, then merge at center. Then move it over here, then extrude it, then start modeling your violin. So then select some of the vertices, then hold Shift, Control, then click B to bevel them, to make them smoother. And if they are not covering the area you want, click O to open the proportional editing and move them with the others. And now continue smoothing it. So after that, go to modifiers and then add a mirror modifier. And then go back to edit mode, then select all, then press F to fill them. If they are not touching each other, go to merge on the mirror modifier, then change its value until it merges like this. Then in edit mode, select all, then extrude it like this. And then to make this thing, add a bezier curve. And then in edit mode, select all, then delete the segments. And then select the draft, then change the cursor to surface. Then go to here and then change the depth until it gets match with the black thing. And then convert it to mesh. Then in edge selection, hold Shift Alt and then click over here to select this edge loop. Then click F to fill it. Then do the same thing to this part, like this. Then select your violin. Then go to modifiers and then add a Boolean modifier. Then set it to the bezier curve. And then go to modifiers and then add a mirror modifier like this. So then set how to smooth the violin. And now we are going to make this part. So to do that, add a cube, then scale it, then place it over here, then scale it at the y-axis, then move it upward over here. Then, depending on your image, do some decorations. Select the top face of the violin and then extrude it, then move it over here, then this part over here. And now I'm going to make some decorations depending on my image. So Then, to make this snail looking part, extrude the top face, then continue extrude it until it gets to this part. Then shade it out the smooth. Then to make this part, add a cylinder. Then rotate it at the y-axis 90 degrees and then scale it. Then place it to that part like this. Then scale it at the x-axis and then in face selection select these faces and then move it over here. Then scale it at the x-axis. Then in edit mode, select these faces. Then insert them. Then hold Alt. Then click E. Then select the extrude individual faces. Like this. Then shade it out to smooth. Like this. So now to make these things, add a plane and then scale it, then rotate it at the x-axis 90 degrees, then move it upwards over here, and then scale it. Then move it over here or over here, and then in edit mode, add a loop cut over here, then hold Control, then click B, and then bevel it. Then select this edge, then extrude it at the x-axis. It has to be very long because it is like that. Then add a solidify modifier to add some to make it thicker. Then add a subdivision surface modifier. Like this, then shade it smooth. So then duplicate it, then put it over here. And if you guys don't want this part to look like this, select this edge, then hold Shift, then click E, then like move to make this part a bit not like that. And if you guys want, you guys can select this part too, then make it a bit more so sharp. And if that doesn't work too, add a loop cut to that part like this. Then to make these things go to this part, duplicate it and rotate it at the y-axis 180 degrees. Then move it over here, then place it to its place. and then duplicate it like this. Like this. So now select this thing, then select these parts, then insert it by pressing I, then insert it over here, then extrude it inwards. And if they are like this, move them upwards, like this. And so now we are going to make this part. And so to do that, add another cube, then scale it, and then place it to its place. Then in edit mode, they select all by holding Alt and then clicking A. Then in face selection, select this face, then scale it at the X axis. Then add a loop cut over here or over here, then scale it at the X axis. And then hold Ctrl, then click B to bevel it, like this. And then add another loop cut over here, then with proportional editing on, move it at the y-axis, like this. And then hold Ctrl, then click 2 to give it a subdivision surface modifier at the level of 2. And then select these faces, then hold Shift E, then make that part a bit more sharper. And after that, shade it smooth. And so thus, select the violin, then in edit mode, in vertices selection, add a loop cut a bit over here, then select this vertice and then this, then click J to add a loop cut between them, then add a loop cut over here, then select it, and then turn off the proportional editing, then move it at the x-axis a bit over here. Then select this edge, then bevel it, and then extrude it at the y-axis. Then add a loop cut over here, then over here. Then select these faces, then right click and then select bridge faces. And after that you guys can delete these faces. And now we are going to make the ropes. So to do that, add a bezier curve, then rotate it at the y-axis 90 degrees, and then rotate it at the z-axis 180 degrees, and then select this part, and then place it to this part. So then this part, like over here, and then duplicate it, then place it over here, and then back in edit mode, select one of them, then put them over here, then duplicate it again, then place it over here, and then select this part, then move it downwards over here, then place it over here. Then, if this part is getting through the other, in edit mode, rotate this part at the x-axis like this, so it doesn't get on the way of the other one. And so to solve this part like this, go to edit mode, then select this part, and then rotate it a bit like this. And you guys can select both of them, then right click, then subdivide to add another vertex. And so now to do this thing over here, add a cylinder, then rotate it at the x-axis 90 degrees, and then scale it, and then put it over here, then place it over here, then scale it at the y-axis, then scale it at the x-axis a little bit, then rotate it like this. And so now place it a bit over here, and go to scale, then change the default to normal, then scale it like this. And now we can place it over here. No problem if it gets to this part. Select this part, then move it at the y-axis like this. Then select these faces, then extrude them like this, and then deselect all. Then select these faces, then extrude them like this. Then add loop cuts like this, and then select these faces, then extrude them like this. So if you guys want, you guys can just select these parts, then move them on the y-axis like this. So now to make this hole at this part, go back to edit mode, and then in vertices selection, select these vertices, then click J to add a loop cut between them, and the more you do, the better it will look. So after that, select this vertex over here, then move it at the y-axis until it gets to this part, then hold shift, then hold control, then click B to bevel it, then move your middle mouse upwards to add some cuts while beveling. And then shade it out to smooth, like this. So everything is done, but we only need to do that thing that you just play with. To do that, add a cube, then move it over here, and then scale it. So then scale it at the y-axis like this. Then in edit mode, add a loop cut over here. Then deselect all, then select this edge, then move it over here like this. Then bevel it with one cut, like this. And then select this face, then move it over here, then scale it at the z-axis. Then bevel them again. And then add a loop cut over here, then move it over here, then bevel it with some cuts. Then select this vertex and this, then move it a bit over here. Then bevel the vertex without cuts. Then subdivide it 2 times, then go to loop tools, then circle it. Then scale it at the y-axis, then bridge, and then in face selection, right click, then bridge faces. So if you guys want, you guys can subdivide more times to make it better. And so now scale it at the y-axis a little bit more like this. Then shade it out to smooth. Then hold shift, then right click over here to put the cursor over here. And then add a cylinder. And then scale it, then rotate it at the x-axis 90 degrees. And then move it over here, then scale it. Then scale it at the y-axis a bit over here. Then in edit mode, then select all, then only select this face. And then insert it by pressing I. Then extrude it over here. Then extrude it again, but then press S to extrude scale. Then extrude it one more time, then select all. Then in vertices selection, select these vertices. Then click J to join them. like this, then select that faces, then extrude them like this. Then scale it a bit more like this, then move it downwards over here. And then in edit mode, select this face, then move it over here like this. Don't worry if it's too long because like we can scale it to make it a bit more tiny. Back in edit mode, add a loop cut over here. Then in face selection, select these faces and then extrude it downwards over here. Then select the cube, then hold Ctrl, then click J to join them, then shade it out to smooth. In edge selection, select these edges, then press F to fill them like this. Then add a loop cut over here, and then select this vertex, then deselect all, and then select this vertex, then select this vertex, then click J to add a loop cut between them. Then, without deselecting anything, click P, then separate it by selection. So then you guys can select this thing, and then delete the faces, then select the edge, select this vertex, then delete it, then right click, then convert to curve, then go to here, and then open the geometry tab, then increase the depth. Then shade it smooth. And if you guys want, you guys can select this part, then extrude it downwards so this part can stay over here. Then go to object, then set horizon to geometry. And then to make a decoration, add a loop cut over here, then bevel it without some cuts, like this. And then select these edges, then move them at the y-axis like this. So then you guys can scale it like this. Then rotate it at the x-axis 90 degrees. Then at the y-axis 180 degrees. Then place it near the violin. And so now select one of the curves, then go to geometry, then increase the depth because when we close this thing, they will disappear. But when we increase the number of depth, it won't disappear. So do the same thing to the others. And so now everything is done. And now let's give it some colors. So to see the colors, go to material preview, then select any object, then go to material and then add a new material. And when we click over here, we will see a circle full of colors. And when we just move this white thing, it will change its color. So you guys can add any colors. But if you guys don't want to make these colors, and if you guys want to make wooden colors, go to base color, click to this circle over here, then select the image texture, then add any image that you guys want, like this. So then you guys can do the same thing, or then just add a simple color. So now everything is done, our model and its colors, but now we only have to give it some light. So first I just moved the violin upwards, then select these references, then delete them because we don't need them anymore, and then rotate them like this because I will make here a wall. And so to see the lights, go to rendered, then go to add, then light, then add any type of lights you guys want. And there you go. If you guys enjoyed my tutorial and if you guys like my videos, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.